Welcome to my fantasy football podcast, y'all. This is Cosmo. Super excited to have you if you're watching. I'm just going to get right into it, man. We have a great day of football coming up, man. It is Thursday. A lot of people don't like Thursday night football. This guy personally, I love Thursday night football. Man, I'll take a day off of work for Thursday night football. I don't care who's playing. I like to watch it. I'm so big into the professional world of football that the college football, it just doesn't do it for me. I love the storylines in the NFL. I love the divisional rival matchups, and that is what we have going on here tonight, people. Dolphins, Bills. People are discounting the Dolphins tonight, man. They've got a spread of 12.5 points. And, to be honest, man, I'm going to have to go with that. I'm going to have to give this one to the Bills, man. I mean, seriously, they are a tough team right now, man. Insane. Just doing it all over the board right now. They know how to do it. Josh Allen, James Cook, defensively, they look pretty good. The Ravens, they scored 45 points on them, but then at the end, in the fourth quarter, they held them to nothing. The Dolphins have a good run game, and I feel like that's the only thing that could be scary here. But if you're talking about against the Bills will quickly put 30 on you. I mean, they put 15 points on in 4 minutes. They can easily score 30 points in the first half or even the first three quarters, and then the Dolphins are, you can't run the football and score that many points in the game. I just don't see Tua putting it together right now. I just feel like they're so disconnected in the passing game. So, man, I really got to give it to the Bills here. Tough matchup here. Speaking of this game, I have a bunch of bets on it. My prop bets for player-wise, I have A-Chain and James Cook over one touchdown or at one touchdown each, over 0.5 touchdowns. It was about a 3.2 spread on that. So 3.2 times payout on that. So I went ahead and locked that in. And then I also have the Bills first to score. I feel like that's a kind of a given. Even if the Dolphins get out there, I don't think their game plan is going to be enough to just outmatch the Bills. I feel like if the Dolphins are going to come back, it'd be somewhere around in the third quarter when they can kind of figure out what the Bills are doing. But other than that, I mean, Josh Allen doesn't care. He'll just run all over you. He doesn't need a playbook. Speaking of which, Bills money line, and then I have the under on this one. Under sitting at 50.5 right now. I think I got 49.5 on my betting, which is in Bentley in Arkansas. And I think the under because I just don't think the Bills are going to go out there and stomp them, like put on, 45 or 50 points. And if they do, then I don't see the Dolphins or I don't see them letting the Dolphins score a lot. I feel like they just go out there and want to whack them. This is a divisional game. Last year when they played each other, it was like 30-10 in the first game of the year, like the second game or second game of the year, their first divisional matchup last year. So I feel like that could kind of be what goes on here. 30-10. That's not even close to the over here. So I'm taking the Bills money line and the under, and then I have over 9.5 as the first quarter points. I feel like out the gate at least, it's just going to be tough flying balls, and I feel like the Bills might try to even just pound it down, give James Cook and let him run up the middle. The Dolphins are not good against the run. I mean, they're not good against anything right now, to be honest. Looks like they are 25th in rushing and 23rd in passing and 26th in defense overall. That's just not crazy. And then my one more bet, I also have the Bills spread. I got, I think, just like 20-30 bucks on the Bills spread at 12.5. So that covers our Thursday matchup. I'm going to be watching the game tonight. Not working, so might even get a little recap in. I love these Thursday night games, man. They're just so exciting. Moving on, man. We got the Falcons and the Panthers. Give the Falcons 5.5 or 6 points here, man. They look phenomenal right now. I really like this. I would take the maybe the under here. But I don't know. The Panthers are letting people score a lot of points, and the Falcons will do it if they let them. I think Bijan can really turn it on. couple weeks ago they let Tyler Algier just go off in the third and fourth quarter. I think he had like 130 yards and a touchdown after Bijan already had like 80 and a touchdown. So they can really get after it. I like the Falcons this year, man. They look great. Penix is a phenomenal quarterback. I like the development that they did. Let him come in behind Kirk Cousins and then watch him fly, man. The Falcons look good this year. Speaking of looking good this year, Packers, man, great team. They're going up against the Browns at 8.5. If you're going to give the Bills 12.5 against the Dolphins, you better be giving the Packers 12.5 against the Browns. I got that all day, man. This is almost a no-brainer. The Browns just aren't putting it together. They played some okay games, but I just can't give them too much credit right now. Going here, Texans Jags. This is a phenomenal game. I feel like Texans Jags. Jags have played very good against some good teams, and Texans have played really good. They played the Rams, and then they also played. Who did they play last week? I was looking at it earlier. Texans. Oh, the Buccaneers. Yeah, they played on Sunday night or Monday night. And they just played two good teams, man. Two really good NFC teams that were both in the championship last year. So I got to give it to them, man. They're playing the Jags, who played not very good teams. They played the Panthers and the Bengals. And the Bengals had a backup quarterback, and the Panthers are the Panthers, arguably the worst team in the NFL right now. So I'm taking the Texans all day at point oh five. Actually, they're underdogs. You might even see me putting a little money on the money line this weekend on that. Speaking of putting money on the money line, man, I love the Bengals this weekend against the Vikings. Don't get me wrong, we might get a little Carson Wentz action this weekend on the Vikings. He looks great, but the Bengals can really put it together. I think even with their backup quarterback. Joe Burrow, he's obviously one of a kind, but they're going to get the ball out there. They got Jamar Chase and they got T. Higgins, man. Those guys are like two top 15 wide receivers in the league. And then Chase Brown in the backfield, he can still run the football. Vikings are out there running back too. I think Aaron Jones is hurt. So that's not good to hear. And their quarterback's hurt. But you get the Carson Wentz experience this weekend. You're either going to see 500 yards and 3 interceptions, or you're going to see 100 yards and no touchdowns at all. I wouldn't even. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but I don't think Justin Jefferson is a great outlook this week. But who would I know? Um, but I like 2.5 there for the Bengals. They're kind of dogs here. Might even put a little on the money line there. I like these two games right here. Steelers, Patriots. This game's kind of a tough one. Big matchup here. The Steelers, I feel like their defense is not playing to who they are. I think Alex Highsmith he's not really doing what he needs to on the other side. I saw something the other day. 85 to 90% of the runs have been going to the other side of Bosa, or not Bosa, Watt, TJ Watt, because they're scared of him, man. They just run the other way, and they're having success with it too. They're doing pretty good against the defense, and then that's not helping out the offense. If the offense can't get off the field, or if the offense can't get off the field, then Aaron Rodgers is going to be tired by the third quarter. He's an old man. Patriots are looking good here, but I got to take the Steelers, man. I feel like they can lock in and really get after it. They're 0-2 against the spread already this year, but I feel like this is a good game where the Steelers can come back and get some credibility here. Speaking of the same thing, man, Rams, Eagles. I'm just an Eagles hater, maybe. Maybe I hate the tush push a little bit, but I think the Rams are a great team. I think the Rams can really battle with these guys, especially because, like, compared to the Chiefs, the Rams have a great offense. Chiefs are lacking, but the Rams have three different guys who they'll just toss it out to. And I think that's where the Eagles struggle, especially in the secondary. They have a great defensive line, don't get me wrong, and that helps in the passing game, especially how they get after the pass rusher. It's kind of one of a kind, honestly. They're always just able to rush 4, drop 7. But The Rams, man, I gotta give them 3.5 points here. I feel like they're going to keep the game close at least. It might even be within 3 points, and that's a cover there. If it came down to a field goal, I feel like that's what you'd have to call this game at. So I'm going to take the Rams here. Jets, Bucks, man, I love the Bucks right now. And Justin Fields he's got a concussion. That's not good. I was really high on him this year, but you know he'll be back in a few weeks. It's okay. I just hope that's something that they can keep away from happening to him. It's like the same thing with Tua, man. You got to protect these young quarterbacks. They can't keep getting hit in the head. Um, that's number one, man. Protect your quarterback. Bucks 6.5 points here for sure. Coming down here, Colts, Titans. Man, I like the Colts at -3.5. Danny Dimes and the rest of the squad are putting together a great game. They're paying the defense a lot of money. They've got some studs on that side of the ball, man. Just getting after teams. They made the Broncos look like crap, and they made the Broncos defense, who's supposedly number one in the NFL, look like crap. I'm excited to see the Broncos Chargers games, which is a little bit down. We'll talk about that one, but I think this Colts, man, they're going to take the Titans for sure. Raiders, Commanders, money line's only spread is only at 3.5 because Jay Daniels is possibly out with a knee injury. So not that means too much there. I think Mariota, he'll be the great backup quarterback. Um, he's a great backup. You put him on about any squad, he'll just deliver the ball. Zach Ertz is there, Debo's there. So he has facets. Raiders are the Raiders, man. They need probably 5 or 6 points in this game for me to be looking at that a little better. So I like Commanders 3.5 here. Oh man, oh man, Chargers 2.5. Come on, man. I know it's a short week on them, but give it to them. I like this. Broncos looked like dog water last week against the Colts, and I think the Chargers are a better team. And I think the Chargers do similar things to the Colts, so they're just going to get after the Broncos. You can't really fix that much stuff within a week period. And I just don't see the offense getting after the Colts defense. They were flying around this weekend, man. Like Derwin James is everywhere. I love watching him. I watched film this weekend on this game, and man, the Chargers are really impressing me. Could the Chiefs potentially not be AFC West champions? No, but there's a potential, man. There is a potential. Saints Seahawks, man. Ooh, I told y'all last week I wouldn't give it to the Saints again, but they're giving them almost 8 points. I guarantee they're going to lose by 8, but I got to give them 7.5 here. They are playing on the road. I think this is the Rattlers' first away game this year, but hey, man, that Rattler will get you when you're not looking at them. Seahawks, great team, put it together last week, but they're having a little trouble in the backfield, and I think if the Saints can shut down their backfield, then they'll struggle in the passing game. So I got to give it to the Saints here, man. It's a tough one, but I'm going to give it to them. Bears, Cowboys. Ooh, this is a tough one. I looked at this one for about 20, 30 minutes. And the reason I'm going with the Bears is I think Ben Johnson's just pissed off, man. And I watched the Cowboys go neck and neck with the Giants last week. I know Russ threw for like 450, which is absolutely insane. But the Bears are they that good? Man, the Cowboys look good, but they don't have a defense. And I feel like if Caleb Williams doesn't play a team that has a lot of great defense, they're going to play all right. So yeah, I'm going to take the Bears here. Um, Not letting them skate out 0-3. Cowboys are going to Cowboys. 49ers Cardinals, man, great divisional rival here, man. I love this game so much. I'm going to be watching this one for sure. The reason I have the 49ers is because I think that Mac Jones can really put it together for them. He'll be a great quarterback, and the Cardinals, they're going to be okay, but they're going to be playing on the road. And I just think that Christian McCaffrey can go after him, and that's a place for them to be exposed at. Obviously, the Cardinals' offense looks pretty good this year. but it's the defense I worry about. And I think the 49ers are something that's where they shine on defense. And so that's where I'm going to have to give the defensive matchup here. So we're going to take 49ers. Moving down to my dogs, who I didn't pick, man. Oh, it's going to be a close game, man. I mean, I saw Russ throw for 450 last week. The Chiefs are going to have to score, man. And that's the tough part here. I'm not saying they're not going to win, but I think the Giants might keep it close. They kept it close with Dallas last week. I think they can score really fast, which is scary against the Chiefs. They've had a little bit of struggle at the safety position. And I think that's where they can get beat at. I think Wando Robinson's questionable this week, but you never know what'll happen by game time. And Chiefs never cover the spread, so I'm taking Giants, man, plus 5.5. I don't know if I ever would have said that. I gotta flash my red light real quick. For my boys, but they'll somehow cover this week. I'm sure they will. I hope they will. Actually, they got to turn something on. Lions and Ravens, man. Monday Night Football. I talk about liking Thursday Night Football, but Monday Night Football is always the best game of the week, and this one is going to be a thriller. This could be your Super Bowl, man. I mean, I'm not kidding. These two teams are great. I'm a proud Chiefs fan. I'm a proud Kansas Cityan. But look, man, Ravens are scary. They lost to the Bills in the regular season, but everybody loses to the Bills in the regular season. Bills can't do anything in the postseason. Ravens can. They will go to the AFC Championship if they need to, and they will win. If Derrick Henry stays healthy and Lamar Jackson stays healthy, that is one of the most elite offenses you can imagine. Put a JV offensive line, and it doesn't matter. You got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson back there. Lions, though, man, they're scary. I think that, they're putting it together. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, that's a dynamic duo in the backfield. I like that when one of them gets tired, you can just kind of swap them in and out. And then you can put Montgomery in for the big, bruiser and plays. And so you have a great dynamic back set up there. And then you have Amon St. Brown on the outside, who just will catch any ball and take it away from anyone. I mean, give that guy the ball in space, and you might as well just call it a touchdown or a 40-yard gain. And that's why I got the Lions with 5.5 points here. I think the Ravens will win, but it's going to be high scoring. I'd take the over here. I know it's 52, but imagine both teams scoring 30 plus points. That's so easy. I'm taking Lions plus 5.5, and I'm taking the over this week too. But I would take the Ravens money line, if I'm being honest. Hopping over here, man, to my fantasy leagues, man. I'm super excited for week 3 in this league. This is my money league. I need to go 3-0. If you go 3-0, 4-0 in these leagues, you're kind of set, man. Because that means your team's good, and that means that unless you're getting hit with injuries like we are this week, we have a couple that we're going to watch for Sunday. Then you can propel yourself to the playoffs. But here, man, I got Emeka Egbuka. He's limited at practice this week. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, I'm going to have to move him to the bench. I have Brock Bowers down here. He's questionable too. Brock Bowers, he's going to go. I'm going to look at players on the bench. I've looked at Michael Pittman. He's probably my favorite right now. But I'm also looking at possibly I wouldn't pick up like any of these tight ends right now, except for maybe he's hurt. Tyler Warren's possibly hurt. Zach Ertz, but he might be playing with a backup quarterback. You don't want that. So I think my big pick right here would be Michael Pittman to pick up. And then obviously Jalen Naylor, he's playing with a backup quarterback too. So you don't want these guys. Marquise Brown, but this isn't a PPR league. And he just catches 10-yard slants. I got Keenan Allen down here, who could potentially be a good one. But the Broncos defense is pretty good. But he does have touchdowns this year, which is great in this league. We like touchdowns. That's good points in this one. He would be on my radar. I like any of the Buffalo receivers, actually. Khalil Shalier would be a good one. He can definitely put up some fantasy points, but he just hasn't this year. Rashad Bateman, but he just doesn't get touches. Josh Downs, but he's been hurt this week. And all these other guys are just rookies that you don't really know what they're going to do. So Michael Pittman for sure at the top of that list, especially with the other guys being Josh Downs and the rookie tight end being Tyler Warren being injured this week, possibly. A little turf toe. Everybody's got turf toe this week. I wonder what's up with that. I really do. Moving right here, man. This is another 2-0 league. This is the one with all the defensive players. I made some big moves this week on my team. Got Danny Jones as the Q. I have Jordan Mason starting at running back. I moved Kyron Williams to the bench. They're going to play the Eagles. So I feel like the Eagles, if they're going to get beat, it's going to be in the passing game, not in the running game. The defensive line is just too good. So I'm going to move Jordan Mason up. He's going to take all the carries this week. Their quarterback's hurt, so they're going to rely on the ground game, and they're playing Cincinnati, who's not great against the run. I also moved Quentin Johnson to the starters up here. Like I said, I know they're playing Denver, could be great against the pass, but Emeka Buka's hurt, and then I would rather play him over Cortland Sutton. Chargers have been great against the pass too. Maybe a Tyquan Thornton here because of the high scoring possibility with the Chiefs and Giants. But I'm just so much more secure in Quentin Johnson. He's had like 15 and 23 in his last games. Other than that, on the defensive, I have Henry Totototo. I like this kid. He's been doing really good. Him and the other linebacker, Al Shalir at Texans, they've been playing such a lights out defense. They held the Rams to like 13 points last week or 2 weeks ago. Still got Jordan Davis, Demarcus Armstrong. And then on the bench, I also picked up Dax Hill for Cincinnati. Guy's been playing pretty good. 9 total tackles and an interception last week. That'll put you on my bench. Got Ed Oliver on a pickup and then threw him on IR. I'll take that. When he comes back, I'll move him up to starting. Moving on to my next league. This is a tough one, 1-1 league. I have Rodmore Stevenson starting. You guys are like, why are you throwing in these crazy running backs starting? Because this guy's going to take all the carries this week. The rookie Trayvon Henderson, he's just not doing, or he's not the rookie. But Trayvon Henderson just hasn't really done it this week. And I think that Stevenson's going to take it over. They're playing Pittsburgh, who is more like a name on defense. I think they're going to have a great time. And the reason I say that is because Kenneth Walker last week put up about 18 against Pittsburgh last week with another running back in the backfield. So I'm going to put him up here. Kenneth Walker's playing New Orleans. Good potential there, but Charbonnet, he might have a couple carries too, so you never know. I have Amon on the bench right now. Possibly, let's do that. Quentin Johnson and Amon. Amon needs to start. They're going to score a lot. Like I said, I'm hopeful on the over on that game. And then the Jets, I might switch out instead of Quentin Johnson. I like that as a flex wide receiver. I don't think Devontae or Sam Laporta are really going to outperform those guys. Quentin Judkins picked him up this week as well as Alik LMR. These guys are all great guys. Judkins took up the starting role for the Cleveland rushing game. He was averaging like 5 yards a carry. So we'll take that. But I only need, I have James Cook here. He'll be a secure spot. And we got Danny Jones starting. Falcons defense, great pickup this week if you're looking for him. I think that's a secure defense. They're going to be playing Carolina, which is, like I talked about earlier, one of the worst teams right now. Right over here, we're also a 1-1 team. And I have Danny Jones again. I'm him, man. They're playing Tennessee. They're going to get the ball tossed on them. Tennessee has some good safeties and corners, but I think that Danny Jones doesn't care. He did that to the Broncos last week. He just tossed all over them. Got great running backs here. Wide receivers are all set. Nico, Zay. Zay's playing Detroit. So I've thought about moving Michael Pittman up because I'm so high. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Zay Flowers, he's bound to have his annual 2-point game, or actually bi-weekly 2-point game. Jackson Smith, I like him against New Orleans for sure. And then Devontae looks good there too. Zach Ertz, clear number one tight end for me. And then my bench is almost all people wearing red. We're just missing these two guys. They need to switch to a team that wears red, and everyone will be red on the bench. We like it that way. Um, um, yeah, but Nick Chubb, the reason I don't have him starting is just Saquon and James Cook. I might use him for trade capital because I also have him, Jake Tunks, who's the clear number one in tight ends at San Francisco, and then Mac Jones might take over the starting role in San Francisco. You never know. So I like all these guys on the bench right now, especially Hollywood too. He's a great guy in this PPR league. Um, Man, for my bets this week, I haven't really placed too much yet. I'm kind of scared, if I'm being honest with y'all. There's so many injuries. There's just so much going on in the NFL right now, um, and I don't really know where to go with all my teams yet. Um, let's see here. Just running through the games again this week. I like this view right here. Um, Obviously a blowout. Falcons great. Yep, yep. Um, Iffy game here, man. And then injuries here. Um, Injuries here. You got a concussion. A lot of injuries on the Broncos. Raiders, Commanders, couple injuries there. Raiders might be out Bowers. You never know. He's been questionable for the last 2 weeks. Um, so man, just kind of a surprising like Sunday slate. If I were to set picks for right now, it would be like maybe Bengals money line, um, possibly Colts money line, just because I know they'll hit. Maybe the Colts spread too. Actually, yeah, I like the Colts spread. I could hit that before Sunday. I don't see that one changing much. And then the Chargers spread too. I like all that. I would maybe take the under on this game. I feel like this could be a good defensive game. So maybe Chargers spread and the under, especially because they have them at 2.5. That makes me feel like it should be a low scoring game. Man, heading into week three, super excited, man. I might do a little recap of the Bills Dolphins game tonight, depending on how it goes, if it's exciting or not. If the Bills blow them out, there's not much for me to talk about. But if the Dolphins give them a fight, I'd love to review some of the film and talk it out. Man, super excited if you're tuning into this. I think this is my fifth podcast. I'm just going to keep pumping these out, man. I love getting into all this NFL stuff. It's just like everything I think about during the week, putting it into the video format. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys. If this is helpful to you, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys are hitting your bets, what you guys are doing good on, how your fantasy teams are doing. I'd love to build a community out of this too. This isn't just about me sharing my things. I'd love to get some buddies on here, doing some videos, talking about both of our teams, and really getting like the nitty gritty on who we like pickups and stuff like that. Um, Man, be looking out for some more stuff. And once again, super excited to have y'all. Much love. Until next time.